Hey everybody. By everybody, I mean the one viewer. Yeah, so Sunday afternoon with the Adept. It should become a thing. Just taking care of a couple last minute items. Let me make sure, yeah, looks like the sound is working. And hopefully it's coming through all right. All right, there we go. Let's pull that off to the side. Let's mute my channel. Okay, good. All right, hot diggity. All right, yeah, welcome. Hey, what do y'all think of my Neo 65 CU? My 6-pound. Wait. Copper bottom keyboard. Very nice. I like it. Just put some new switches in it. We'll talk about that maybe later. Well, actually probably in just a little bit, because one of the things that we're going to do here at the beginning is, so Switch Oddities has Switchmas in July. So they had some extras. Hey, I hope you're having a great Sunday too, man. How are you doing? Anyway, there actually is going to be a commercial coming up, but when we get back from that commercial break, we are going to open up, I've been saving these, we're actually going to open up the first 6 days, because the way he wanted it, you know, he doesn't have, you know, this is mechanical bionicle. Yeah, so we're going to open, and there's switches in all the things. And so we're going to open up the first 6 days, because we're doing 2 a day starting on the 25th, but I was just saving it up for the stream. So we'll open them, we'll try them in here, see how they sound in comparison to the new HMX Lunar Stone switches, which are the ones that are in here now, which, very poppy. All right, and yeah, I got this at Denver Fan Expo. This is an original artwork. And yeah, it was expensive, but I like getting something from there every year when we go. So we got to see 6 of the 8 living Supermen as well. So that was cool. Let's go ahead and we're going to open up some things. Day 1. What do we got? It is a... What does that say? What does that say? That may not be English. I do not know. It is a gray switch. Do some investigation on that bit. We'll open up day 2. We'll just open them all up first. We did. Actually, yesterday we went and saw the new Fantastic Four movie as well. So the new Superman movie was good. Ooh, this is fun. think this might be a KTT. Yeah. Out of the two, I would say I enjoyed the Fantastic Four more than I enjoyed the Superman. But they are definitely both really good movies. And... because it's on the wrong side. Is this the same switch? No, this is a different switch. Oh, this is an NK. This is a novel key switch. That's interesting. Wow, a bunch of... Ooh. Ooh. We'll have to try that. That is a tactile. So far, everything's been linear until then. This is day 5. Got a little pink switch, which is an MMD switch. That'll make that easier. Wait. It's a silent pink MMD switch. That should make that easier to find. And last, we're going to be looking at... This is a Gamma K. So I know that the last 3, what the vendors are for them. And I think I know what switch this is. Let's see. Come on. Product switches. There we go. Okay. Well, it's not on Milktooth. Let's try switch oddities, since that's where it came from anyway. It's not here either. Yeah, it doesn't look like these are going to be on their website. That's cool. We'll actually give them a try anyway. Let's go ahead and disconnect that. This is our baseline. Those are the HMX Lunar Stone switches. Okay, so we have our switches. This is our baseline. Here's the first switch. That's actually a really good. A little bit deeper, but kind of loud. The next one, a little bit quieter. This might be my favorite so far. That's the tactile too. This is the novel keys. Of course, you don't hear anything. This is the MMD. And this is the Gamma K. That'll be my least favorite. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to find out what these are. I can always ask Mechanical Bionicle, send him a picture, and he'll tell me. And does it have any markings on it? It does. Let's see if I can get a little bit more light on it. Let's see. Ooh, right, wow. I'm gonna move this over here. Oh, that's interesting. This switch says bad seed. I wonder if it's a collab switch. Huh. Well, we will. I'm going to find out more about that switch. And if y'all are interested, I will tell you next week what it is. We're going to set this off to the side. I will redo that later. These are the new Lunar Stone switches, if you're interested. These are an HMX switch. You can get them through Unikeys. You can use the code TheAdept024 if you choose to. But today we're here to talk about Inductive. We have two keyboards that we're going to look at today. The first one is the Ducky 1X Mini. This was the first, supposedly, world's first inductive keyboard. So, okay, cool, man. It's good to see you, though. So we're going to do an unboxing. This, as you can see, if you know it, if you're familiar, this came from Micro Center. Micro Center carries them at $139. And in the box, you get a dust cover that is specific for the profile of the keyboard. Obviously, the keyboard itself, which has some weight, even though it is an ABS plastic keyboard. Side, our instruction manual, quick guide in English, I suppose. No, other languages would be on the back. Let's see. Oh, wow. Got a few things in here, including a Ducky. Which looks like a keycap or just a statuette. I'm going to leave that in there for now. There, that's fun. Extra keycaps for adding extra color or getting rid of making it all black. So, sorry. There you go. Duck feet, duck logo, escape key, backspace. I don't know why it's got, oh, I know why, because it's a universal set, so it would come with the other one. a special spacebar, Dragon, which is also shine through, as you'll see the keycaps are. And this is our cable and our wireless dongle. The Ducky is wireless. The here's just a Ducky branded keycap puller. And that is everything in the box. You off to the side. Let's take a look at the keyboard. We'll move you for now. We'll come back to you. So here's the keyboard. Oh, that's weird. There's a dongle in here too, I thought. There's two dongles in this keyboard. That's odd. If there is a hideaway place for the dongle, goes in there. As you see, you have switches, Bluetooth, wired, and 2.4 gigahertz wireless. This is an actual aluminum piece, so it's not plastic, as is this, but this is plastic. You have double kick-out feet, giving you a strong typing angle of... Oh, helps if I didn't have it minimized. So the base is 11. The first level feet are, first level is 8. First level feet makes it 11, and that makes it 14. So that's a typing angle, let me tell you. You can kind of hear how it sounds with the stock keycaps. It weighs in at 918 grams. Has all your basic features, and then you have the switches. Let's see. Minimize that. Yeah. So the way inductive keyboards work is that there is an electrical field that is along the bottom of the PCB, and as this conductive metal piece pierces, sorry, there we go. Nope, come on. There you go. As this metal piece, as you see, is conical, pierces the electrical field, it measures not only that it is being pierced, but also how much it's being pierced, so that it can determine how deep in the actuation it is. That is why they are conical. This is a north-facing RGB keyboard. That is because of the gamerific shine through. We're going to open it up probably in a little bit. There are 6 screws on the bottom that we're going to use to open this guy up. But let's take a quick listen. Yes, stabby switches. And let's take a look at that. I mean, it's gamer. Let's get some RGB going. There you go. I think. Let's see. Are these keys on backwards? Weird. We'll look at that later. Well, you can't put HMX switches on it. It doesn't accept standard switches, standard MX switches. It only accepts the inductive switches. But we are going to try the inductive switches for each keyboard on their counterpart. And see whether or not they are compatible, which they should be, because as opposed to the magnetic field, this just requires the little conductive stabby piece in order to work. So pretty much in that case, all inductive switches should be compatible with each other, unless they do something like add pins. And if you don't have pins that secure it. So this is the Epomaker MagCore 87. This is a wired only keyboard, which in most gamer cases is not going to matter. But this is an all aluminum construction. It's an 87, so it's a TKL, as opposed to the Ducky Mini, which is a 60%, and this is a $99, or sorry, $199. Oh, let's get that extra $100 in there, as opposed to the $139 of the Ducky. There are 3 that I could find. This is 2 of them. And the third one is a brand that I had never heard of. And I couldn't get them before I wanted to do this, so I didn't even bother. So you have your ABS construction, your shine through, north facing RGB, and this is south facing RGB. No shine through, but it has accent keycaps. Oh, I didn't show you everything else that was in the box. What else was in this box? We're unboxing. Let's do it. I don't think it's going to have a Ducky in it, but it'll have something, I'm sure. All right, let's go. Let's go. It's my best Jason Mendoza. All right. So, got a long box that has accessories in here somehow. All right, so we have replacements for these to make it an all-black keyboard, which is good. Come on. We have... Well, they give us replacement switches. I won't even need to open it up initially. We will, probably, but... We have an Allen key, which we can use to open it, but we're not going to. And braided cable and a combination keycap switch puller. And that is everything in here. So... the switches for the Ducky are just called Ducky AI, as in analog inductive switch, but I could not find a maker of that switch. These are made by Kale, and if you're interested, in switch info. Put it somewhere. No, that's good. Let's just move this. Okay, there we go. There we go. So they're pretty similar. These switches are lighter, which is what I would expect from a lot of gamer keyboards, which is really what this is. And you can see this has... They both had the light spreader. This one's a little bit more colorful, but in colors that I like, so that's fine. Then you have your little stabby component. We're going to be going to a commercial in a second, but it is cool. Oh, hey, while I am waiting for y'all to come back from commercial, I'm going to start my music back up. So, we're going to take a look at this when we come back from commercial, and we'll do a quick sound test. I don't have anywhere to put you for the moment. We'll set you up here. We're actually going to run them both side by side and see what happens, because I have 2 USBs going right now. So you guys are all going to be over here, so I can keep you separate. And not sponsored by Coke Zero, but if they wanted to give me that sweet, sweet Coca-Cola money, I would take it. So, all right. Let's get some lights going here. Why aren't you lighting up? Seems like you want to light up. Let's try a different cable, since I have 2. There we go. Okay. So this is the... Well, let's get it back to the default lighting. There we go. So yeah, here we go. Oh, really? That's interesting. I did not know that they were coming up with an even, like a different switch. And yeah, it's a round stem. It's actually like super stable. Like there is no wobble in these switches at all. Yeah. Well, if I can get Epomaker to send me that, I will obviously do that when it comes out. The Ducky, on the other hand, kind of expensive for me, actually, at least right now. But yeah, we're definitely going to try these in the other one and try those in this one. So that we'll at least see if the stabbies work with each other, and then we'll see what happens with the. See, I think that, you know, it's rough when they keep changing the default. You know, like the whole Hall effect thing was a nightmare. It still is, with North and South Pole oriented switches, and now with in between. Oh gosh, oh gee, oh golly. But let's do a quick sound test on this one. Let's go ahead and pause the music. Well, mute the music. And here we go. So that's, yeah. In my opinion, these are better sounding overall. Let's get that one back out here. Come here. Let's see if we can get you running on this cable. Okay, yes, good. Let's see if we can get the other one running on this cable. Let's see if they both work at the same time. Yes. Yes. So, I mean, out of the box, what do y'all think? Do we have any opinions on this? This is a really clean finish. I'm going to disconnect this again so I can show you the side profile, which you cannot see. There you go. But it's got this little accent piece here that kind of distinguishes the wedge. The bottom, as opposed to a lot of the other keyboards, don't mind my fingerprints, but has a engraving for the Epomaker, because you know that's what that says. Non-standard feet, single USB on the back. Let's get some stats on this bad boy. Bring up the browser. We're going to come back to that. That's a whole another issue. So for the out-of-the-box experience, this obviously doesn't have any feet, so you are stuck at its default angle, which I don't see listed here. But I would suspect is around 8 degrees, 9 degrees. Let's see if it was up here somewhere that I just skipped past. No. Okay. It only has the one selective switch, which is the inductive switch. But let's, well, actually, well, I am going to anyway, because my switch puller. Does this actually have any markings on it? It says Ducky. Okay, just checking. Let's go ahead and try these in here. Oh, yes. Remember what I said earlier? That unless they decided to add pins, well, sure enough, the KL switches have stabilizing pins as opposed to the Duckies, which do not, and there is no stabilizing pin holes. No, wait, there is stabilizing pin holes. But the stabilizing pin holes look like they blocked off. They're blocked off. They're not actually stabilizing pinholes. What they are they have a PE sheet that they use for standard keyboards, which has holes for the pins. So, do I clip these? The answer is yes, but we'll use 2 of the spares. Well, it doesn't matter which 2 I use. Come here, clippers. All right, everybody, hold on to your butts. How about now? You want to fit now? Yeah, you do. Okay. Oh, I'm just doing them all because it might work in one but not in the other, and vice versa. So I was going to try them both anyway. Just to be thorough. Not Thoreau, because he hangs out at a lake. I don't know. Something about Walden. On Golden Pond. I don't know. Okay. So let's see. Do we have working switches? We do. Let's go ahead and put these keycaps back on because I want to hear the difference in sound. So this is the Ducky switches in the Epomaker board. This is the KL switches in the Epomaker board. Ooh, you want to switch 0 down compared? Okay, I can do that. Let's go ahead and try. See how we do on sound here, and then we'll crack open one of each of the switches. Oh. Hey, you know what? If you have no orientation pins, you can put switches in backwards, and they still work because it's just a stabby bit. You don't get your RGB though. Yeah, I think that it's just chock full of foam. And the switches themselves. despite the fact that they're all, they're supposed to both be palm switches, are seem to be very different in construction, or not construction, in actual okay. Have your standard top with the cutout at the back for the light diffuser. There is it is sectioned, the stem is sectioned off completely, so it slides, and that's probably going to be part of it. Then you have the stem with the I don't really see any lubricant on here, so they just may be raw dogging it. The spring appears to be very similar to an HE spring in that it is fat. And then we'll leave that open for the moment. And then it's a kale, which means that I have to switch my thingy. My thingy's getting old. Wait a minute. Right, that is part of that. Go back to you. All right. Yeah, let me grab the switch anyway. I'm going to switch them back. And if I'm going to open a switch that I might not be able to get closed again, I should use one of the ones that I've already chopped. Both of them open rather easily. So this one is much more open on the inside. It has that angled front, almost like a diamond switch. So, and then the stem. So there's no blocker. That's going to be part of why it's quieter, is because of that. I'm guessing because of that part is sectioned off. It's open on the bottom though. Then the stem is similar. Let's see. It's a dual rail switch. And then a longer aluminum spring. Similar though in that it is one of the bigger type springs. Yeah. So that is both of the switches. Now let's see if I can put them back together. Right? Ah. It's all come apart. Okay. So this has a single orientation that it can actually go in, which is interesting to note, and not necessarily a bad thing. Where'd you go? There you go. Yeah, they don't seem to be the same manufacturer. Okay. And then one light spreader going back in. Going back in. Nope, light spreader won't go in if the switch is back together. Cat hair. So the light spreader becomes part of the assembly once you, in order to put it back together, the light spreader needs to be inserted or not at all. And now the Ducky switch. Hopefully it's an easier time. Yep, just back together. Drop it back in. Grab the switches, switch them back. And then let's talk software. Because that's really what it comes down to with these gamer style keyboards. Oh, did I mention that the keycaps for these are not cherry, they're OEM for the Ducky. So keep that in mind if you're getting the Ducky keyboard. Oh, I did not want to do that. If I have pins, I'm going to use them. So, G, here's my H. Let's plug them back in. And there. Okay. So Ducky uses a web-based software called Ducky 1 or called 1X Connect. It sees the keyboard. It's got it. It brings this down. So this does allow you to reassign a lot of keys. You'll see that some of the keys, like the duck key, I don't know what that does, but it has a lock on it. The key that lets you switch profiles, because you can have two profiles on the keyboard at the same time. That is all assignable here at the function layer. Then you have your default layer, which shows off the fact that the function on this keyboard is supposed to be on the outside. That's why I was unable to do the thing, which I'm going to do anyway. You can set macros. You can assign, I did the lighting on this. I had opened this up before just to make sure that everything worked. You think TTCs? That kind of tracks. I generally like TTC switches, maybe not quite as much as an HMX or a B-Sun, but they're pretty up there. Let me take another drink. We're running into an ad in 30 seconds. But when we come back, we're going to look at the software for the Epomaker. Yeah, I mean, you have to look at some of the little things. They're going to be very different because of the yeah, I'll probably ask him, because I was going to ask him. I don't know if you saw, but I opened up the first 6 days of the switch miss in July, and I found this bad seed switch, which I think I might want more of, because these are nice. I like these. Anyway, yeah, so we went through those. That was fun. And I could not identify some of those, which actually you might be able to identify them. But we can come back to that. Let's take a look at the software for the Are they still available? Are they expensive? Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, well, that's sad. I mean, it's nice to have a unique switch. Oh, yeah, I think I knew that. Let's do a new source. Window capture, add source, add a new source. So this is the Epomaker software. So as opposed to a web-based software, Epomaker actually has a an application that has to be run independently on your machine, but more importantly, so novel keys might have some. Huh. I mean, I can look. More importantly, the Epomaker software has to be run as administrator. It won't run without administrative rights. Overall, this software was, to say the least, somewhat disappointing. So you can modify your keyboard and assign anything you want to your primary layer, because unless I'm not seeing it and one of you are, you cannot access any other layer. There is a function layer because there's a function key which operates the specific items that Epomaker has programmed in. So that in and of itself is lame. And I've already told them that. I've let them know that not giving access to the function layer in the software is stupid and wrong and stupid. I think it's funny that if you look at the picture of the keyboard, dynamic keying is going to be, if you wanted to choose any of the extra functions that you can do with like Hall effect keys like sock and the the multiple layer triggering functions and all that kind of stuff. That is all done through a dynamic key, which I don't have a problem with this, the way they have this set up. It's not the worst thing. It adds an extra click over something where if you would have just taken this and dropped it down here in the main window, why wouldn't you do that? Why? Anyway, that is the primary question I have when it comes to the Epomaker software, is why? Why did you choose to do some of the stuff that you did? Because it's not smart. It's not right. There's only one profile. So that's dumb. Because, you know, well, as a person like myself, I use my keyboards for work. I use them for gaming. I use them for other people use my keyboard. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. It's like I think comparing these two keyboards, I think that the Epomaker with the Kale switches and the aluminum construction, I don't mind that it is wired only. And somebody, I was watching another review video for this keyboard a while ago. It's actually what inspired me to ask Epomaker if they wouldn't mind sending me one. And he said, you know, one of the biggest benefits of a inductive keyboard is the fact that it is it consumes very little power in comparison to a lot of the other keyboards, especially Hall effect keyboards. Why wouldn't you have it wireless? What is its purpose? And the purpose, as far as I can see it, is this would be great for a... Now, granted, it's aluminum, but it's not like... It doesn't have like a brass weight or a copper weight in it. It's got weight to it, but it's not a heavy keyboard for a TKL, especially aluminum TKL. I would say out of these two, they're not that far apart in weight. So you can make this a travel keyboard for gaming, where it consumes, when you have it connected to your laptop on the go, it's not pulling the same amount of power that an HE keyboard is. So you're not going to override the power draw on like a 65 watt charger. Like, I could see using this and a Bluetooth mouse. Well, maybe not a Bluetooth mouse. I could see using this and a mouse with a docking station on like a Steam Deck. Well, I mean, RGB is RGB, and you can turn off RGB. And since this isn't a shine-through keyboard, you know, I mean, boom. Put in your black keys, and now you've just got... And what I'm going to do today, after we get done talking about the comparison between the two, I'm going to put Levi and Rose on here as just kind of showing off what we can do. I think it's interesting that I turned off the lights and the accent light is still on. The accent, which is not programmable, by the way. It is this rainbow, and that is what you get. And you can't turn it off. So, in that way, it's like the Zoom 98 with its little telescope that you can't turn off. Well, actually, you can. If you turn off the side accents, it turns off the telescope. But if you wanted side accents, you got to put a piece of electrical tape over the thing. Anyway, that's not, neither here nor there. But, you know, you have this power efficient keyboard that I think, you know, having it connected to a mobile, we'll call it, you know, a mobile gaming station, I think it would be great. I intend on using this for that. I don't know what a kit light is. So, except for, oh, yes. I'm sorry, you mean kit as in Knight Rider kit. Yes, you can't. Which is sad. Because that would be great to do when I make this whole thing like red and black in a second. But yeah, it's the software is disappointing. I can see why having it wired isn't a bad thing, because in most cases you're going to want your wired connection for the full 8,000 hertz polling, if that's a concern for you. For most people, it's not even going to be a concern for them, because like myself, I'm a casual when it comes to gaming. So 8,000 hertz polling rate, that's not my cup of tea. I am not that target audience. And then people were like, well, why do you... Oh, here, let's do that. Boom. Factory reset. Done. Okay. People were like, what's the purpose behind an 8,000 hertz polling rate? And really the only purpose for casual gamers, yeah, it adds a lot of CPU overhead. I would have liked to have seen, and this is a thing I would have liked to have seen on a lot of things, like the Monsgeek Hall Effect keyboard, where we can change that. I would love to drop my polling rate down to like 1,000. Pretty standard. You know, that's not bad. And then if I decide that I want it, you know, take it up to like 4. But I mean, the advantage for casuals is that the polling rate is still going to be there when you need it, if that makes sense. I guess here I'm covering myself up now. So when you are I mean, obviously you know this, Klex, but you know, when you hit a key, it is registering. Now that registers on that polling rate. If the higher the polling rate, the more likely that it is going to be there when you hit the key immediately, and not just waiting. And so you will get a faster response. The problem is that your response, the adept's response, is much slower. So having an 8,000 hertz polling rate isn't bad, except for the fact that it causes, like you said, a lot more CPU overhead. So changing that down to like 1,000 for somebody like myself, who's gonna be late on the draw, probably anyway, is not bad. You know, if I could do like 4,000 when I'm gaming, that's fine. I don't really need 8,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of hertz, because I'm gonna be getting hertz already when I play Overwatch. So and when I play Civ, I mean, I could have Bluetooth speeds. I mean, Civ doesn't need it. Have you tried the new Civ yet? It's awesome. I'm enjoying it. I'm not very good at Civ. I'm kind of middle of the road. I'm still getting used to 7, but it's good. So that's these guys. Wait, where's my magnet? Don't lose my magnet. So I've had this switch opener since very early on, because I needed a switch opener that I could actually use. Yeah. You can't get them like this anymore, as far as I can tell. They sell them with one or the other, but not this magnetic switching. It's great. Yeah, let's see. Can I just reset the... Apparently the Ducky has an update. We'll deal with that. I'll show you that while it's doing it. So that was it. That was one of the 2 updates that it does. Then we have to reconnect our device. It says there's still an update available. It's because it's probably going to be the LED. It's downloading. Jumped up and then bounced back a little. Yeah, I mean, it's really mostly just the shtick and not really necessary for like most people's usage. At this point, it's a. I mean, it's like most Hall effect, to be honest. There we go. Yeah, you know, and that's fun. Change back to a regular rainbow. Change back to right, left. Boom. Again, this is it's a pretty good setting. Here you set your actuation point. You have 2 profiles. In this case, I have one set to 1.2, the other one set to 0.6. That's usually what I've been doing to try to avoid too many problems. This is your multi-point triggering, which you can set up to 14 items on here. Things I do not see on here is sock. So that's disappointing. Or really anything except for multi-point. So they both have their problems. Out of these 2, which one do I personally like the best? I still like the Epomaker more. I am hoping that they listen to some of the recommendations that I've made, that I know other people are making, and kind of clean up their software some. The Ducky, I just don't like the switches as much. The KL switches feel much better. I mean, I kind of like the heavier touch, which is a 40 gram starting force as opposed to the 35 gram starting force of these. It is noticeable, but not bad. Like, you know, when you're doing gaming, you want kind of a light force anyway. But if we can get them to allow us to access the function layer, if we can get them to kind of clean up their act a little, yeah. I just like the hardware so much more of the Epomaker. That's what gets me. Is that I want the Epomaker hardware with, well, really neither of their software. I'd prefer, obviously, like a rooting or even a Keycron or, you know, something like that, where it's better. It's just better. So, would I recommend either of them? I guess there's a good point. The answer is, if you're looking for an alternative to Hall Effect, I would take these over optical. You'll probably get it cheaper, even at $199, which is what the aluminum is, the Epomaker is. I think it's still a better deal than a lot of the new optical that do multi or actuation distance tuning. To get something as sensitive as an induction keyboard, you need one of the newer TMR keyboards, like the Monsgeek or Monsgeek and Akko are the only two that I know off the top of my head, and they're the same company. So the Monsgeek M1 V5 TMR has the TMR sensors, and the Fun has it, and then there's an Akko that has a TMR switches, and they all use the Astrolight switches, but you can use whatever you want in them. I think this is a better sounding keyboard than the Akko keyboards with the TMR. But gaming might not, sound might not be a thing. Sound might not be a concern for you. In which case, the Akko or the Monsgeek M1 TMR, I would say, is a better keyboard as far as usefulness, because the software, they have a web-based software that is much better than either of these. I don't want to call them pieces of junk. They're not the worst software, which is, by the way, the Sea-Doo C75 Hall Effect keyboard. The worst software I've encountered on a Hall Effect keyboard. Glorious is up there because it's all part of the Glorious Core, and the Glorious Core is absolute dog shit. And then it's kind of better from there. The Keycron, I've never tried a Wooting. I don't have a Wooting. I don't have access to a Wooting. I've seen the Wooting web-based software, and that is in my brain what I'm comparing it to, but I've never actually used a Wooting keyboard. But they don't have the TMR. So there is a dead zone that does not exist on TMR keyboards, nor does it exist on inductive keyboards. So the initial layer. Yeah. So with light, we want to change the lighting. I'm going to make it light. We want to make it red. We want to apply it. You did not apply. I wanted. Oh. Hey, we're not in another ad break. I can't get a good red on here. That's weird. I can either get a magenta or I can get kind of an orange. Oh. Oh, I know why. Because the housing, the bottom housing on these things is purple. Maybe. Or it's just the software. Again, the software kind of sucks, but we know that, and that is a big detractor from buying this keyboard. Yeah, but we're still going to rebuild it. We're going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to make it my own. You, sir, we're going to go over here. All right. So, put that off to the side. Let's pull some keycaps. What? I don't need to do that. All right, well, oh, hey, you know what? I stopped the music a while ago for sound tests. I never restarted it. Wait, okay. All right, so those are the keycaps. You go off to the side. You guys are off to the side. You go way off to the side. Okay. I don't know if you've encountered the Lovian Rose by Swag Keys. This is one of my favorite. Well, this is my favorite red set. It has a slip case inside a slip case, and then you finally can get to the keys. We'll set you both off separately. All right. Thinking about doing it all red. So no accents, which are those. Very nice. I got these way back in the holidays when they went on sale. One of my... I'm normally blue guy, but these guys kind of make me think red. Because yeah. I'm the prize. I think Swag Keys uses a PBT blend. But these are double shot. So. So, while I'm doing this, I do want to mention that, like I had said before, Epomaker has been sending me out some stuff when I asked for it, for taking a look at. That's how I was able to get the Split 65 and this and the Tide 49. So I've been kind of asking for kind of some of their more off-the-wall stuff, the stuff that is not necessarily the mainstream stuff. I did get an auction for a Tide 65, 68, and it was missing stuff when it got in, so it was supposed to be complete. I did, however, also win an auction for the Yunzi AL80, and that is going to be that was fine. The RGB came turned off, but once I figured out how to reset the whole keyboard, it was fine. And so we will be doing an unboxing on that. Probably, if not next week, the following week. And then after that, I think we're gonna try mil-maxing for the first time. But we also have the Photon. That is definitely going to be next week. By Canon Keys. I'll be building that out and then looking at the ZMK for that. I don't know what the Snoopy is supposed to represent, but thanks, I guess. Because I love Snoopy. I plan on mil-maxing the original PCB from the Cruel World 88, the CW 88. And then I'll be building my Cruel World back again with its original red PCB. Do I have a menu somewhere or no? Oh, no. Come on, don't leave me hanging. What does the Snoopy mean? Is that good? Are you giving me crap? I don't understand. You gotta bear with me. I'm old. Not Snoopy old. I mean, he's been around since like, whatever, the 60s. Oh, that's fine. I remember you. Yeah, we visited you a little while ago. Welcome. Oh, it's perfectly fine. Ask me any question or to repeat anything, and I would be happy to do so. Unfortunately, I know how to count to 3. How to say merci. That's about it. Oh, and merde. I know merde. Because if you're gonna know anything, know how to say shit in every language. I had a friend the flux capacitor, it's right over here. It's in here. Oh, by the way, I changed out the keycaps on my agar. This is the EC board. This one is not. This is inductive. So there is a conductive metal piece in here. Sorry. Let's see. Focus. There we go. There is a conductive metal piece in here that pierces an electrical field on the bottom of the PCB, or through the PCB, and it measures how far that little spike pierces it and the width of the pierce. That's why it's conical. And that determines where it is. No, it does 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah, so it's like Hall effect, but it uses electrical fields, like a low power electrical field, instead of magnets. It is a new alternative. There are only 3 keyboards that I know of that have it. This is one of them. This is the Epomaker MagCore 87. This is the first one that came out. This is the Ducky 1X. Yes, Ducky 1X Mini. There you go. Ducky 1X Mini. No, it's not sponsored. Epomaker sent me this keyboard for the purposes of a review. They don't pay me, and they don't know what I'm going to say beforehand, and which is probably for the best, since I just shit all over their software. Hardware is good. I like the hardware of the Epomaker more. Yes, it's all magic. Magnets are magic. That's what I always say. So, here we go. This is the Epomaker MagCore 87 with Swag Keys, Levian Rose keycaps. I do have a YouTube channel. It is Chris James 024. So, my anonymity comes from the fact that everybody is named Chris James. Anyway, let's take a listen to see how it sounds with these, with different keycaps on it. By the way, hey Talbot. Yes, you can chat. I am running a concurrent stream. Thank you, Klex. Over on my YouTube channel. And I welcome anybody to go over there. I have it up in a separate window on the side so that I can see when people talk there. It does sound just like a keyboard. Actually, it sounds like a good keyboard. I mean, I know you're giving me crap, Talbot, but I think as far as if you hear various gamer like Hall effect keyboards, most of them kind of sound like garbage. I have one. Oh. So, here's my big boy. As a point of comparison, this is the Keychron Q5 HE. This is a 1800 profile Hall effect keyboard. This has the nebulous switch stems inside of the Gateron Jade Mini E housings with the dual rails. So this is what this keyboard sounds like, and this is pretty much one of the best sounding Hall effect keyboards that I own. I mean, Keycrons are kind of your base level keyboard. There's not a lot to them, but they don't have, but they have a pretty decent Hall effect line. Their software isn't bad. Their nebula switches aren't the great, and that's why I tried to change them out, but I had to use the stems from the nebula switches because it wouldn't work. Yes, these are Tomorrow mode Tomorrow keycaps. But you can see that this is a lot more. I mean, if you like this clacky sound, which is kind of the direction that most Hall effect switches go, I've tried most of the big ones. Oh, that's cool. I have a Q1 actually. I have a Q1 V1 that I got off of eBay to try out and to see how it was, and I have it on display at work. So, but yeah, so I think that, and that's one of the things I'm liking about this this inductive keyboard, even the Ducky keyboard, is that hard to tell, but scooch, let's get more keyboards on this desk. Why not? Let's do it. There we go. I mean, this is a quiet keyboard, which is kind of in the vein of what Melotrix does with their Hall effect keyboard. They just foam it to heck and back. And that is how they are able to kind of make it sound better than it really is, because the switches they used in theirs, which are weird, that had a hollow, but like an extended hollow stem, it was very weird. But I definitely think that the Epomaker sounds like 10 times better than both of these. But yeah, I've owned a few Keycron boards over the years. I have a Q1. I have a V5 Max. I had a V5, but I sold it to a friend. I have the Q1 that I had gotten, and then I have the Q5 HE. So, but you know. I actually have far less Epomaker boards than I do Keycron boards. Well, not far less now, because they've been sending me some, but I'm probably going to end up giving some of those away. Let's see, how do you look with the lighting? Yeah, kind of gives it a little glow. I still wish I could change this to being red, like a kit, like you said. But okay. Looks like we're in an ad break. So we're going to set that off to the side. I think I'm going to see if I can reach Epomaker and see what kind of development cycle they're expecting for their software. But I think the software is really the biggest piece here. That is stopping me from recommending this as a keyboard. The Ducky is kind of the same way. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to reach out to Epomaker and see what kind of development cycle they're doing for their software. Because it's the software that makes or breaks Hall effect and, in this case, inductive keyboards. And the software for this is severely lacking. Beyond the fact that it is not web-based and requires elevation just to run, which is bad, and a lot of people won't even run it because of that. That is probably the biggest. And well, then you have the fact that you can't edit the function layer. That's super bad. Hey, how's it going? Thanks. This is stock except for the keycaps that I just put on, which are Olivia and Rose by Swag Keys. Yeah, and again, for those of you who are late, these are inductive switches, so they utilize these conductive metal poles. Come on, quit trying to focus on David. Which use these conductive metal poles to pierce a... Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's open this bad boy up and see what I can find. Looks like a hex. Looks like it might be you. It might be too big. No, you're right. Okay. So I don't know that I would recommend doing like a Tempest. It's like a wasp. I had not even thought about that as a reference to this. That's interesting. And so the 6 screws should get us into the case. Like so. The finish is really smooth, but it is a fingerprint magnet. So there's that. You can see the light bar here. It is gasket mounted. There is a single JST connector. So you don't need to do a tape mod on this bad boy because it already has it. Let's take a look at these gaskets. So the gaskets are connected via 3 spikes coming out of the plate. There's no relief cuts. There is one directly below the spacebar, which some people may not enjoy. Not naming any names, but it
means me.
No, I mean Alex Otis. Yeah, I don't know. I want to peel that all the way back. Let's see. Should I? So then we have what is. We'll just call this a token piece of phone. Because, I mean, come on. What is this? What is this? What is your goal here? It's like having a no shopping agenda. But you can see as you push down, they come up. Yeah, we're going to take it off. Carefully. Hopefully I don't ruin this. Ruin means ruin. For those of you who are not native English speakers. There's a French keyboardist in the channel. Come on. I realize that I start using weird idioms. Because I'm weird. Okay. Let's set that off to the side. Now we can see what our PCB looks like. And so you've got your sensors. You've got your guys coming up through the plate. Let's see. The white pieces are the LEDs. I like the fact that they had to put one to the side to accommodate the screws. But then you have the sensors that are measuring, that are playing down the fields and then measuring. And then they are accompanied by a controller. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. You have one here, one here. I think that's all of them. And this is what is applying the field. Yeah, nobody actually, I mean, So I grew up in the South of the United States, and they have thick accents. And one of the things that they say is, instead of saying ruin, they say ruin. I don't really have that accent, but I know of it, obviously, having grown up around it. Hey, it supports PCB mounted stabilizers as well, everybody. So when you put this back on here, you have to make sure you're not covering up any of the holes. Yeah. There's also hole spaces on here for the PCB mounted stabilizers and the screws. So that is good. You need to move down a little. Okay. Put you back into place. Make you all snug. So if anything, I might change the foam in the bottom. Add a full piece of maybe some polyfill, maybe? I don't know. What I do know is that that little piece of foam ain't going to be doing jack squat. Might benefit from a force brake, but other than that, I mean, it's a pretty all-together system. Yes, it is weird. It is magic. Just like magnets. I mean, really, most of electricity and electromagnets. Electromagnets must be the most magical thing in the universe. So the bottom is brass hex screws. So that's nice. But the internals looked like they were all Phillips head, standard Phillips head screws. Which is less nice. Because Phillips heads suck. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with everything that Alex says, but I think we're on the same team when we say Phillips heads suck. Why don't you like HE? I mean, I understand, like, there are many reasons to dislike HE, but I am curious as to your thoughts. Okay, this wasn't working on here. Here we go. Okay. All right. So, maybe there's a new software update. Maybe they just fixed everything while I wasn't looking. Let's go ahead and bring that software back up. Yes, HE does normally sound bad. If you are well, there are some now keyboards that are starting to have available tactile Hall effect, but tactile Hall effect somewhat negates the purpose of Hall effect. Since it is there a way to check for extra software updates for well, I downloaded this morning. By the way, I think it's funny that the picture of the keyboard here, the keycaps are dirty. Like, they look used. Yes, HE tactile switches make no sense. And yet, I think that they, I mean, they exist. Because people want their tactile bump. Yes. But, well, I actually have an HE keyboard. Well, it's not built right now. That uses uses these. Those are not the ones I want. Those are the ones I want. So there's these. These are Hall effect switches. By AE boards, obviously. But they are, instead of being standard Hall effect switches, they use internal rubber domes. Not unlike a Topreg board. So you get a little bit of a tactile bump at the beginning, but it's gentle. Yeah, so there's that. Wow, that's very strong words, man. Yes, so I don't know. Yeah, but the company that makes these are actual magnetic Hall effect switches. Yeah. So, yep. They're also South Pole facing. So this is how they are achieving the tactile bump. Is that the internal of the switch has this little pole. We'll call it the stem penis that comes out and moves through this. That looks kind of like a, well, never mind. We're not going to go there. We know what it looks like. And so yeah, so this provides the tactility. As this moves through here, provides the tactility, but it is, you know, for those people who want Hall effect and tactile. I mean, it's a thing. But only on South Pole facing. And obviously, you know, you're not going to be able to stem swap their link switches are probably their best switches in my opinion. But I mean, none of their switches are really great. Is that word no? Because that's what we're gonna go with here. Yeah, I've actually tried out, and I have videos on my YouTube channel of trying out some of the glorious keyboards. It doesn't go well for them. They're not good. They're not bad. They're just so overpriced for what you're getting, which is not you're not getting a lot. First of all, it utilizes the Glorious Core software, which is bad in and of itself. Yeah, so if you're in the market for some switches, of course I always recommend, if you're trying them out, if you want to try out switches, I would recommend, if you want to try them out for yourself, go to Switch Oddities, where you can order individual switches. They're a little bit pricier at like $1 a switch, but you just buy one of whatever switch you want, and they send you the one switch, and you can get a bunch of them. I want and don't want Sacred Timeline at the same time. Did you see Sacred Timeline?
No.
You know. Nothing right now. The Nixies, they were in the Key Cult 0, and then I took them out of the Key Cult 0 because I put in the Bad Sweetheart. I put in Bad Sweetheart switches. I put in these. And these are what are in it right now. I actually had switched these out for a little bit over to my favorite. Well, now it's my second favorite switch because I got these. These are my new favorite switch. The Lunar Stone. Oh, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick while we're in a commercial break. Okay. Yeah, so the HMX Lunarstone linear switches are my new favorite switch. I look forward to getting some more of these, building out at least one more board with them. I still love the Chew. These were somewhat disappointing. They have the same problem that I have with a lot of the deeper HMX switches. Okay. These were somewhat disappointing. I have a problem with some of the deeper HMX switches is that they ended up at kind of sounding sploochy at times, but just at times. And so I'll mount them into a board and I'll use them for a while, and then I'll be like, ugh, and I have to take them out. As a matter of fact, that is the reason why I had to change them out of the Bad Sweethearts out of the Zero for the Chew switches for a while, was because I had that same problem. Cilantro, if please keyboard, if you have not tried the Cilantro switches, I highly recommend them. As far as a tactile switch goes, I don't use tactiles normally, but I do love the Cilantro switch. I have them mounted currently in my Desktop Tribe DT103, which I have right over there. I can go grab them if you are interested. And most of these are available through Unikeyboards. If you are interested in purchasing, please please use the my affiliate link so that I can get a kickback, because Papa needs more switches. These are the Chews. And the reason why these are one of my favorite switches on top of the sound and feel is the fact that since they are a milky switch, if you have a keyboard with RGB, it grabs that light and it just glows. And so you get a better light dispersal. Especially if you have like a frosted PC plate, then that then transfers to the plate and you get that underglow that if you are interested in under key RGB at all, that's kind of the goal, is that you want that seamless glow to come up from underneath, whether it's bright, whether it's dim, whether it's moving through rainbows. Seamless glow, that's what you want. And that is one of the things that the Chew switch offers. Milky yellows are good for that. Key Geek Oat switches are good for that. The Gatoron Sage switches, which are similar to Milky Yellows. The housing is the same as the Milky Yellow, whereas the stem is actually from the stem is from the, not the Snow Bunny, from one of the smoothies. Oh, the Sea Salt Smoothie. It's from the Sea Salt Smoothie switch. But the problem is that when they were designing the switch, I'll show you, they put a purple bottom on it with no hole to allow your RGB through. Like, WTF, man. It just pisses me off. I mean, I understand a lot of the high-end keyboards don't have RGB in them, but at the same time, come on, man. Anyway, if you are also looking for things to waste your money on, not that it's a waste, Parabolica looks awesome. Especially this purple. Oh my god. That is so pretty. Yeah, I love HMX switches. HMX is, like for a lot of people, has become my top switch, my go-to. I haven't tried the Cosmic Purples yet, or the Sugar Rush. Sonia's I know are clacky. Therefore, I have not tried them, because I don't like clacky switches. Bad Sweethearts are good and deep, and Snow Crashes are also clacky. Kanglin V3s. Kanglin V3s are, in my opinion, not quite as good as Kanglin V2. I looked at the DK one. I was interested in a DK one, but I could not get the DK one, and now it's out of group buy. But yeah, they had a nice dark purple. Okay, thanks for stopping by. I'm so glad that you decided to stop in and... Oh, you're getting a new chair. That's exciting. I love new chairs. New chairs, new phones, new keyboards, obviously. Oh, there's some stock ones with a special ano. Interesting. See, this is the one that I had seen, the purple. And yeah, if I were to have gotten the DK1, I would get the copper bottom, the aluminum weight with the same color, of course the stone washed gray, non-flex cut, hot swap, 1.6 tri-mode, this guy, and the PC plate. This would be my setup. That's interesting. I'll have to look for that video. 15 years. Yeah, I barely had this one for like maybe 5. Because I got it during the pandemic. Because I was working from, I was working from home. And so I got a new chair. I can't believe it's already been 5 years. No wonder the cushion on this thing is sucky. I will look. Oh. There's not. Oh, that's a neat effect. Oh, here, let me make that bigger for everybody. Let's do that one more time. That's a neat effect. Kind of a swirly, like a... If you put mix-ins in your resin, you get that same effect, I think. It's neat. And then, of course, there is the keyboard that I am just completely enamored with right now. Well, aside from the agar, I still love my agar. But probably my next keyboard. I think I'm going to get that in the purple. I mean, maybe the blue, but right. I like everything about this keyboard. Well, I would like it better if it were an FRL. That would be it. But if you did an FRL, you would probably have to get rid of most of these keys here. These keys would all go. So you would be basically... Yeah, I have a keyboard like that. But anyway. The green. Pink, if you're into pink. The gray is cool. The silver is cool. But the purple, I think that purple goes pretty hard. I like the grip on the side. It's got a nice side angle. I'm not as wowed by the fact that it has the USB port over on the left side, but... And I like the little screen with the little owl. Reminds me of Bubo. If anybody remembers who Bubo was. Yeah, I saw that. I watched that stream, actually. Was Athena's color blue? But if you go silver with the brass eyes, I mean, you would absolutely just have a Bubo board. Oh, that's interesting. Is there a yellow? No, they're not doing that yellow. Now, there's actually another. No. Hold on. There's actually another Athena board that's coming. Okay. That's why. This board. So, this is more of a 65%. Obviously. It has an optional knob module on it. I think that the they also do not have a yellow. I'll have to talk to him about that. But the blue that it has, which they call Poseidon blue, copper accent. I think they're going to be wired only. Oh no, it's wireless. There's a wireless kit. I don't like the fact that they charge you for the phone kit, but I understand. It's a very small house. They're including a keycap if you had done the early pre-order, but But yeah, so it's more of a pricier board than the Athena 1800 is going to be. This number, 136, that is not accurate. So this board is actually going to start at about 205 and go up based on your selections. And that's because this doesn't include things like the PCB, because it's KBD fans, and they freaking suck about that. Oh, man, don't get me started on that shit. Is that still an open thing? Oh, this keyboard. Yes, I would 100% buy this keyboard if I could. I would never type on it. I would just look at it in awe. I mean, I don't want an Alice. Well, part of me wants to get an Alice just because, you know, I don't have one. But at the same time, I mean, that's just awesome. Who has a bas relief on the back of their keyboard? It reminds me of that other one. Oh, what is that keyboard? That the Egyptian themed keyboard. Hey, Marshmallows, thanks. Oh, awesome. We're just kind of looking at keyboards right now. If anybody's interested in inductive keyboards, I have one built out right now. Yay, Raid! This is the Elysium keyboard. I don't know, is it still for sale? I don't know what language this is. Let's see. Oh, it's Vietnamese. Hey, look at that. It is out of stock. It was a group buy by Helix Labs. Yeah, right? I mean, that's just a freaking beast. But we were looking at some of the other keys that are coming up that are really nice. Have you seen the Athena 1800? Oh, so it might, because I mean, I've been looking at that board probably at least 6 months to a year. I've seen that board, like somebody showed it to me like a long while ago. And then the Nyx key, also in Athena, but this is a 65%. From a small vendor called Nyx Keys. The guy is a small house, but he is really putting a lot of himself into this board, so I am hyped for it. He has told me that he will be willing to send me one once he has the protos in for me to do content on. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to even build one of these out, as well as the Athena, but I'll have to pay for the Athena. The 1800, not this one. And then I'll have to send this one back to him, which will make me sad, especially if he sends me this blue, because that blue is nice. I would take that blue with any of the accent colors. I would probably go copper, but yeah, for the configuration I would get at the 65% Athena, I'd be looking at 387. What is that Egyptian themed board? Yes, the Aru. Yeah, you said it earlier, didn't you? You said it earlier. You're so smart. Oh. Well, of course he built it. Anyway. I do not want to log into your site. Go away. But you could give me better pictures. Anyway. Yeah, that $1,000 keyboard. Did everybody see the $1,200 keyboard? The new special edition Keycult keyboard. $1,200. Is that on their site? No, the Seneca's more expensive than that. Isn't the Seneca like... Seneca keyboard. Oh, yeah. It's about a third of the price of its starting price. You know, because if you're going to get a Seneca, you might as well get the titanium one. Which is one of the reasons why that Keycult is going to be $1,200, is because it is also titanium. Titanium and polycarbonate. But it's the rainbow titanium, that which is funny because Novel Keys sells a plate for the glow that is $55 for a titanium plate, and I'm like, just do the same thing there, you know. Anyway, I'm kidding. It is worth it for people who are willing to pay for it. I'm not saying that they're not charging an appropriate price. Just FYI. I still have it on there. It's not bad. I mean, I'm using oat switches on it on this keyboard. So, I mean, it's an injection molded ABS housing with a titanium plate. Anyway, so there's that. For those of you who have just joined, why don't we take a look at this is the Epomaker induction keyboard. And I have changed out the keycaps, but that's it. The keycaps that are on here are Swag Keys La Vie en Rose keycaps. And if anybody's curious about induction technology, basically what it is doing is there is an electrical field applied to the PCB. It is low powered, much low powered than the Hall effect sensors are using, and so it uses this little stabby guy, which is a conductive conical pole, and it detects when the cone passes through the field, but it also detects the width of the cone, and that allows it to determine how deep the push has gone. So I have two of them here right now, and that is this one, which is the Epomaker MagCore 87, and then I have this one. Should just give it some power so that it glows up. I want you to glow up, yo. How about that? You'll glow for me on Bluetooth, right? No. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So this is the Ducky 1X Mini, which is a 60% induction keyboard. It uses a slightly, like it uses a different switch, different maker switch, but it is the same technology. It uses a little stabby guy in the bottom, but they have their own switches, which are these. These are the Ducky AI as an analog inductive switch, which is basically the same. This has a north-facing RGB, and that is because it utilizes their shine-through keycaps. And in my opinion, do not sound as good as the Epomaker version, which is this. Now, the fact that you can get what in my opinion, is a really decent sound out of a keyboard that is at least the equivalent of its Hall effect counterparts is so great. It is great. Now, that being said, their software is dog shit. I can't begin to say how bad. Well, I can, because it's right here. I mean, we could just look at it again. They don't allow you to change the function row or the function layer. Like, you don't have access to any of the layers. There's no profiles. There's no layers. It's just missing. It has sock. If you do this, you can set up that, and you can set up that. Okay. I now have sock and setup for my strafing. Done. I'm not going to do it, but then you have all your other things, your pressing and holding, your multi-stage, all of that stuff. That's all here, right? You can set your travel distance down to 0.1. There's no dead zone for induction keyboards because it detects immediately. Sock is the technology when you're it does the priority switching between A and D for your stutter strafing type of thing. It's banned in a lot of games, so you can't have it active in things like Counter-Strike, because they'll ban you. But for the games that can use it, if you know how to use it, it's a game changer. If you don't know how to use it, it's also a game changer for making you suck. So be aware of that. Be careful when you use it. Again, it can get you banned. Learn how to use it, because if you don't, it'll make you worse. Because you'll think you're doing one thing and it's not going to do what you expect, and then you'll get hosed. And that's actually kind of like a lot of the Hall effect goodies, which was that dynamic keying stuff. A lot of these things are great when you learn how to use it. This, the ability that when you are hitting a key, when you release said key, it performs a different function, which in a game can be invaluable. Like, it's basically like a mini macro for a 2-function macro. I mean, you could set that to F13. Then, continuous triggering, which is like old school controller auto. Pressing and holding function. If you hit it, it does one thing. If you hold it, it does something else. I mean, these are all gaming things. The only thing that can be useful otherwise is multi-stage triggering. If you are an accurate touch typist, you can use multi-stage triggering to basically shortcut your work by applying different key strokes at multiple layers of a single key. That could be a game changer for you if you're good. It is also part of the reason why it's good that these have extremely light springs. These are 35 grams initial force. As you can see on the screen, I have the stats for both the Epomaker and the Ducky AI switches there. That is all that was available to me that I could find. You can set macros, but again, probably the 3 biggest things that this is missing is the availability to the function layer. What was the other one? One is you can't set multiple profiles on here, which is important to me when hot flipping between work and gaming, because I use my desktop for both. And then the last thing is something that I said earlier, and then I totally have forgotten now. Well, also this UI sucks because you have to click on a key to bring up a menu to then choose your stuff. That's stupid. Whereas you have this field down here that just tells you to select a key. Why not put that stuff down here? It makes no sense. Anyway, so that's the Epomaker. Let's talk more. Let's go back to talking to... Alright, because I minimized it. keyboards that are coming out. Is there anything that y'all are excited about? Keyboards, keycap sets. Any sales going on? I know one thing I like to mention, I don't know how you guys feel about the Ghost Judge keycap sets, but they have a blind box going on right now for $23, and the Ghost Judge sets are really nice in my opinion. I have a bunch of them. As a matter of fact, no, not that one. I have one that I can get at maybe. No, not that one. Where am I putting you? I'm putting you somewhere right now. There. This is the Ghost Judge Blue Samurai International set, also called the Irish set. Now, it's a blind box, so you don't know what you're going to get, but these, the Ghost Judge sets are nice. I can still go with them. They don't use the novelties, so it's just the colorways. So it's not like you are, it's not like they're stealing the intellectual property artwork of someone else. If you are against them stealing the colorway, then obviously you're going to avoid that, because that's all that set is. All the Ghost Judges are just variations on like botanical, blue Sam, red Sam, Mars green, etc. What else? That did not reopen. There we go. I want to get Cat MV Classic Dark. I haven't yet, because I've been having to reevaluate my finances. As most of the people who are in this channel that have talked to me before know, I go pretty hard. So, yeah. With the current financial climate, I've had to go in and reevaluate my spending habits. So, here's something funny, something I told a lot of people. With this, so I've got the Eve 65. Have I heard of 21 KB keycaps? I have not. Do you have a link? So this is the Eve 65 original. So this is the V1. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get get that out of the way. So this is the Eve 65 V1, right? $50, right? Free shipping. Huzzah. So I got this. Oh, we'll look at that in a second. And I'm like, yay, this is a nice board. You know, it's no frills. What do we expect? This is not ABS. This is actually injection molded polycarbonate. It's got a nice underglow, but unfortunately, the foam for the bottom kind of has sticky, but it doesn't stick that well. And then, you know, it's got a great sound. Which is helped by silver smoothie switches with DCX permafrost. Anyway, there are a couple flaws. One is this foam at the bottom. Two is that there's no weight. I'd like it to have just a little bit more weight. There's a spot here for a weight to be inserted. You can't buy it. You can get it on Taobao. I can't because I am in the US. So yeah, so the Plus model, the things that they changed. One, they added a silicone weight that goes in that spot that takes up, like, it's a wedge. It's a silicone wedge, which I'm like, oh, that's nice. They took away the sticky on the foam, but it's not needed. Because there's a silicone wedge there now. And you could just run it without it, or you can just have it, and you get the idea. So, so you get a better glow because the silicone is going to grab the light. And I'm like, well, that sucks because it's, you know, I don't need another Eve 65. I've got an Eve 65. I'm like, I wish they would make it so that you didn't have to. And so they did, right? Let's see, or is it just in here? They made an upgrade kit. And maybe they took it down. Oh, they might have taken it down. Anyway, they had the Eve upgrade kit, which gave you the pieces that were missing. Or that had been changed, which they made a small change to the daughter board as well, and so they included the new daughter board. It was $5.90, and I'm like, ooh, that's nice. But without shipping, free shipping, that $5.90 became $30. And I'm like, well, that sucks. I might as well just spend the extra 20 bucks, get myself like a different color, and I can mix and match the case. But I'm like, I don't really need another Eve 65. I like the Eve 65, but it's not a keyboard that I need multiples of. It's not like it's, you know, my Neo 65, which I have the Neo 65 CU and the Neo 65. I kind of want to get a Neo 65 Core when it comes out. Have y'all seen that? Oh, let's look at this real quick. What am I looking at here? Oh. I mean, these are all right. I mean, I'm not going for beige. I went dark. I've decided that going forward, pretty much all my keycap sets have to be dark. Because I just find myself not using the sets that are lighter, with the exception of the agar that I just put the botanical set on. Not actual botanical, that's Wind Mix botanical-ish set. Oh yeah, this is the other one that I was looking at, as far as Hall effect goes. The Hex 80. This is the first. I had not heard of them previous to now. I mean, the mint add-ons being $20, that's a little... Well, no. I mean, look at that. That's not bad. Okay. I can see that. I was about to say, that doesn't seem like a lot. I mean, that seems like a lot for an add-on set. That's fun. Oh, right. I was already there. No, they don't have it up yet. All right. Well, welcome back. So yeah, there's the Hex 80, which is a brand new Hall effect keyboard that's coming out. That is a collab between QWERTY Keys and somebody else, like but they have, like, you know, a really good, if you're into that purple green Joker slash mecha option, you have that. But I don't think that there's really much here for me. Spark is kind of nice, but I don't know about the blue and red. I mean, kind of reminds me of that OnePlus keyboard. Well, I mean, you won't get the commercials if you do the Twitch Turbo. Oh, I turned that off. Sand gold is nice. But, I mean, it's just another aluminum Hall effect keyboard. I mean, it's a nice aluminum Hall effect keyboard. It looks cool. But, you know. 250, that's kind of a lot. I mean, it's not a lot for if you're thinking, like, compared to Wooting, but we don't know what these are going to be like. It's using Owlab TI switches, which are arguably the best switches on the market. Arguably. I don't necessarily agree, but I know a lot of people who do. Yeah, I mean, I have Hall effect keyboards, and it's mostly for funsies. For me to, because I like new technologies. So, just like the Inductive keyboard that we're looking at today. It's new technology. It's a thing. Which I got from my grandmother, surprisingly enough, who got it from her dad. But we could just get the Aru. We all need an Aru. Because everybody needs a $1,000 Egyptian-themed keyboard. How much is the Elysium? Let's convert that from Thai dollars. Or Vietnamese dollars. I mean, even that. I mean, the Elysium, that has an entire bas relief on the back, is only $670. You could go for the Geist if you can find it on the aftermarket. What else is coming out? Anybody getting a Dyna? Ooh, I like that green though. That's nice. I don't know what keycaps I would put with it. To be honest, I think the Geist, which is a conversation piece keyboard, but you would never use it. You have to read the fine print, man. Whenever Melitrix does a giveaway, I ignore it. I just flat out just delete. I'm like, delete. Don't care. Chillkey's the same. They do the same thing because they're the same company. For anybody who doesn't know, basically what happened to Beast Mode was if you entered the contest, but you had to buy the keyboard before the contest started in order to be able to win the contest. So basically, if you won the contest, they refunded your money. That's an idea, I guess. It did not work for Beast Mode though. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of... It's not really a giveaway, in my opinion. I mean, I guess it sort of is. It's definitely a way to try to encourage people to give you their money in advance. And, yeah. I wonder if they end up... Did you... Well, you didn't order the keyboard. You asked them... Because I wonder if some people are just ordering it, and if they don't win, they just ask for a refund. And then if that doesn't work, they just put a stop payment on it. I guess that's a way to go. Kind of a screw back to them. I don't know. I mean, ever since the Zoom 65 V3, I've been a little bit sour on Melitrix keyboards. Freya's Tiga is nice, and she likes it a lot. But really, I mean, as far as in this price range state, I think QWERTY Keys blows them out of the water. And then there's this. I mean, $205 for, I mean, granted, you're going to end up probably plateless with a solder PCB. But okay. I mean, look at that milling. It's just crazy. And it uses that fun pogo connector. For those of you who haven't seen the fun pogo connector, this is the fun pogo connector with the little squiggle. And that little piece always comes out. I don't know why it's there. If you're gonna do it, you gotta connect the whole piece over. I don't know. Anyway, it does this. That's all FR4 in a serpentine fashion, so that when you drop it in, it grabs onto it, and then you're good. And this is a Topre or EC keyboard or PCB. Here. This is the alu version. Yeah, it's the green aluminum version with the beautiful thing on the bottom. I highly recommend this keyboard. The EC version is only $139. The mechanical version is only $125. That is bare bones. No keycaps switches, but I do believe it includes stabilizers. And then the other Athena. The Nyx Keys Athena, which I think is also really pretty. I kind of like this. This is a very... This screams Greek to me. I don't know why. Just the iconography of it. But... Alright. I think we are winding down. I am going to do one more test on this. Sound test. So this is using their Kale box induction switches. And yeah, you have a great night. This is Swag Keys Livia and Rose keycaps on the Epomaker MagCore 87. Again, I like the hardware of this keyboard. The software is not where it needs to be yet, so keep that in mind. It does support all of the primary features that you want from your Hall effect keyboards, like SOCT and stuff, but does not support changing the function layer, nor does it support multiple profiles. It's also wired only, so keep that all in mind. However, it's low power, so if it's useful to you, if you're gaming on the go, you're going to bring this aluminum keyboard with you, sure, you know, low power, it'll let you use it connected to your computer for longer. Anyway, let's do a sound test. I'm going to turn off the music. And here we go. Hey, I typed in the thing. Anyway, yeah, that's this keyboard. I think it, especially for a competitor to Hall Effect, supporting the different range. I think that these switches sound exceptional. I think it's a really great sounding keyboard. Even stock, it sounded great. I just put these keycaps on because I thought this would look freaking awesome with the red and the black, and it does. So that's it. Let's see if we can raid anybody. Anybody want to join me with that? Let's see. No. Got 3D prints, 3D prints, crochet, lots of crochet, more 3D prints, AFK. It amazes me. I say this every time. All these people who are just streaming their 3D print. Is that something that other people are watching? Doesn't look like there's anybody currently streaming. So I'm going to wrap this up, and thanks for joining me. And next week, we will be building the Canon Keys Photon, which is their new... it's kind of like a competitor to the Eve. It is small. I have the teal, and it's wireless, and also ultra low power. Yeah, thanks for joining me, Klex. Yeah, everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and have a great next week, and I'll talk to y'all